In the previous session, Avalon was cornered by Albacius Damasus. The senator asked her to spy on her new allies, particularly on Clio. The party met at the Golden Drachma, where a shadow peeled itself from the wall and took corporeal form. The shadow seemed to be connected to the origin of Aemil's powers, and though it spoke cryptically, it warned them of a coming moment when the life of one or the lives of many would be forfeit. In the storm outside, Gaius attempted to contact the source of his power, and the Tempest answered him. Marcus and Avalon shared a moment of aristocratic solidarity on their way through Imperius' streets. The following morning, each sorcerer grappled with how their newfound power would transform their personal lives. The party regrouped to attend a gala. Can the sorcerers choose their own fate in the face of the overwhelming power of the Senex? Hello, and welcome to Sorcerous Origins, your trash collector's favorite actual play Dungeons & Dragons series. I am your Coliseum Master, Will Peña, and I'm joined today by our players. We have Sarah Sherwood.
Hi.
Maya De La Torre.
Hello.
Riley Civerolo Douglas.
Howdy.
Sydney Steinberg.
Hello.
And finally, Clayton Currie.
I thought we were dressing up differently.
So I believe when we left off, you guys were on your way to the gala. Because we're all dressed up right now, would you guys mind telling me what your characters are wearing? We touched on it a little bit last time, but I just like a little refresher.
Sure thing. I will start.
No? Okay.
Aemil is actually dressed kind of like this, just a plain, nice white shirt, but nothing extravagant. Slacks, just kind of the nicest thing that they could find in their closet, which is not all that nice.
Mm-hmm. Clio?
Clio is a sharp dresser, just in her regular everyday. I think she dresses nice. She is wearing whatever she would regularly be wearing. She's not dressed up by any means. She looks nice. She does not look, she will be, I anticipate her being very underdressed for this event.
Mm-hmm. Avalon.
I'd say she's probably wearing kind of a similar thing, high neck and then sides cut off, but like a little bit sparklier, has a flowy after the waist kind of thing.
Cool. Marcus?
Marcus is wearing a historically accurate formal outfit that I think you can all imagine at home and don't need me to go into the details of, even though I've researched it heavily. I will say that it's nice. It's like nice clothing. It's nice formal clothing, and very much fits the bill from afar. And I think that if you were to look for things, though, the hem is probably a little bit fraying. It's nice, but it's a little bit older, as though it was had seen its prime earlier.
Historically accurate to where?
Yeah.
To where we are. To where,
Imperius?
Yeah, the established
Which is
history
very
of
clearly a Roman analog.
Yeah, I feel like
I'm just giving everyone a hard time. Gaius is wearing nothing super expensive.
That's gonna be.
He's wearing nothing.
Just
nothing at all.
Hello.
Wrestler status. It's a white toga with sort of accents of red and gold. Nothing that he wouldn't. It's one of the nicer togas he wears, like the nicer linens, but nothing extravagant by any means.
Mm-hmm. And is Felix with you?
I feel like if we had all planned on meeting at House Maximus to head out, so I feel like Felix would come with.
Sure. Yeah, and they're wearing something very nice as well. Probably in a similar style, not like matchy, but similar.
Mm-hmm.
They're going with nothing as well.
So you guys are all on your way to the gala, which you guys know is being held at this menagerie that's kind of been set up inside a hall. It's an indoor kind of thing. but it's going past. To get there, you guys have to go past the Coliseum. It's the most direct route. How do you guys feel about that? And we're gonna avoid it, or are we gonna?
I have no problems with that. I mean, the most direct route from here is it's this way, right, Felix?
Yeah.
This way. It is by the Coliseum, but I mean, fastest route's the fastest route.
I'm assuming the crazy shadow walls are still.
As you approach the Coliseum, the first thing that you actually see poking up over the houses are these huge, just dark black pillars. And as
pillars, just count on you.
And as you guys get closer, you see a not a large crowd, but also not a small one either, gathered around the outside of the Coliseum. It's getting late now. It's just beginning to get dark. Like the sun is still in the sky, but you can see the glow of like firelight.
Do these people seem? There's nothing going on in the Coliseum, right? Because
It's outside the Coliseum.
Yeah, so they're not waiting to get in or anything. Like, what are they doing here?
Is this a mob?
As you get closer, there's no sound. It's people are talking quietly, and it's like a flickering of candlelight, and then one larger kind of like not brazier pyre in the middle. And you see that these people are mostly done setting up a shrine outside or a memorial. There's people crying. There's everyone's kind of grouped up into different like families and social groups. What do you guys do?
If you wouldn't mind, could I take a moment? I'll just be right back. Anyone who wants to come with me is welcome to.
Yeah, I was gonna make my way over. I feel like at least showing our respects is due.
As the two of you and anyone else who would like to walk over, you're approached by a young woman, long brown hair, who hands each of you a candle. And she says, if you have any objects, feel free to place them on the altar. Light the candle with one of the pieces from the pyre and leave anything you need to here.
Thank you.
Thank you. I will roll my way through the crowd as best as I can.
Mm-hmm.
Up to the altar you said was set up.
Yeah. It's
shrine of some kind.
Mm-hmm. Think of it almost like an ofrenda, but yeah.
Yeah, I will take my candle. If it's lit, I'll just place it there. But if not, I'll light it on a different candle. Set it down, and then set a gold piece next to it.
Mm-hmm. Aemil?
I'll do the same.
Is anyone else going? Okay. A moment passes with the two of you kind of immersed in this golden orange firelight. The three of you more on the outskirts of it, shadow kind of flickering behind you. And then the two of you see the gold kind of dissolve. It's consumed. The two that you place down. The candles flare just a little bit, barely noticeable. And the pyre as well kind of lifts up higher into the air. Clio, make a religion check for me.
All right. I rolled a 4. 9.
9. You feel a sort of pull. I think the best I can tell you is that you recognize the same kind of energy as the one in the vision given to you yesterday, and when you saw your friend last night. It's the same kind of energy, kind of courses. And from the pyre, a set of wings expand, and it kind of flaps and rises up, and you all see, everyone does, and there's a huge gasp from the audience, kind of spectral image of a barn owl with these huge knowing eyes. And it does the whole circle around, looking at everyone who's here. And it's kind of almost perched on top of the fire. Its wings are also engulfed in flame. It doesn't seem to be burning, though.
I'm gonna look to Marcus and Avalon and go, I have a weird feeling that one's mine.
Oh, lovely. Would you
I'm
like?
gonna-
Should we go?
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
Just sort of not like up to it, but like closer to where the pyre is, a little warily.
I'll follow her.
As you approach, you hear murmurs from the audience. Not the audience, the crowd. Weren't those two women at the... And people are starting to recognize you. Gaius and Aemil, you hear it too. They were there at the Coliseum. And all these like cut off murmured whispers throughout the entire audience. I keep on saying audience. And the owl kind of turns its head, finishes the 360-degree rotation, and focuses its eyes on you, Clio.
Cool. I'm just gonna sort of like hold. I don't think Clio says anything. I think she's like enraptured by this. I think she's just watching.
Okay. It makes intense, unblinking eye contact with you until it expands its wings and takes up off into the night. You see its fiery glow go over the rooftops around you, and it begins to fly off towards the sunset.
Cool. All right. Okay.
The crowd begins to kind of converge in on you, but focus mainly on Clio. And you see that same woman who offered Gaius and Aemil the candles. What was that thing?
I wish I could tell you. I really do. I don't think it means any harm, if that's a consolation.
She looks over at like the pyre that's been lit by all these candles. And you roll a d20 and I'm going to roll a d20. And we're going to compare the numbers.
All right.
That's D&D, baby.
I got a 12.
I got a 3. And so I don't
know
think
what that means.
I don't think something especially special happens right now. But they kind of look around at each other, every person, and they don't know what to do.
Cleo's going to say something. Just sort of to the people that are gathered. I want everyone here to know that I'm so sorry for what you've lost. And I know that nothing I say will make that better right now. But I want you all to know that the 5 of us are here not because we want to be, but just because we are. And I am sorry. I'm so sorry.
You hear a shout from somewhere in the crowd. I heard that you can heal people. And then
I can
murmurs
try.
of agreement.
Huh?
And then murmurs of agreement throughout the crowd. There seems to be a rumor going around.
I have healed someone. I think a little bit, maybe more than a little. I don't claim that I can do any miracles. Well, not big ones. But I'll try.
Okay. No, I don't think that's it. I think make a persuasion check.
Okay.
Trying to be as thoughtful as possible.
Not another 4.
Oh no.
That's how much?
7.
7. The crowd it becomes restless. The mournful energy of this gathering is beginning to leave, and it's beginning to become a little more fiery, a little more angry. And this woman who seems to be maybe the one who organized all of this turns to you, Clio. I think it might be best for you to leave.
I had the same idea.
Aemil and Gaius.
Okay. Wheel my way out of there. Grab my friends. Going to a party.
And you guys continue past the Coliseum towards the gala. It's only a few blocks away, and the energy here is just about as different as you can be. There are many couples, people in these like such beautiful, pure white robes. Many of them with the same kind of red, gold, purple editions that Gaius has. All making their way into this gorgeous, like it doesn't seem to be a storied building, but it's so tall. It stands over everything. I would imagine something akin to the Parthenon. As you see all these people shuffling in, these fires lighting up the entire thing in this beautiful white glow, everyone's making their way up the steps. What do you all do?
Miss Valerius, I've never been to one of these types of events. Do you have any words of what to expect, how to behave?
I'd say try not to make a scene. If someone insults you to your face, just laugh and pretend it didn't happen. A good way of getting out of conversation is if you see a waiter passing by with some food on it, you can grab some and then step aside. They usually allow that. Be careful. These aren't the nicest of people. They seem very nice, but smile and try your best to have a fun time.
As you guys make your way up the stairs, you are met at the top by someone who does not seem to be going inside, seems to be waiting outside, perhaps for you, Quintus Imbrux.
God.
They approach you and says, "Wonderful to have you here. Now, I'd like to go over a few things. I don't plan on babysitting the 5 of you, or 6, all night. This is an opportunity for you all to see and be seen by many of the most important people in the city before a vote is called in the Senex for how best to utilize your particular abilities.
Hmm.
Can I ask what the options are for this vote?
For the vote, nothing is really on the table yet. I understand that the five of you seem to have a particularly penchant for violence, but I wouldn't be surprised if you could use your abilities in other ways that might be less unsavory.
I just give the people what they want to see. If that is violence, then violence, so it shall be.
Well, guys, you've had a storied history of that.
This is funny coming from the person using us to wage a war, but
Yeah.
sure, we're the penchant for violence.
Hmm.
And of course, we don't get any say in this at all.
Are
I
you a senator, Miss Meliora?
Marcus looks over to Avalon, like just kind of looks a little.
Clio doesn't answer.
Then no, you do not get a say in how the Empire. That was my mistake, not a Quintus mistake.
Get him! Get him! We got him, boys!
Ladies and gentlemen.
Then you do not have a say in how the Imperium uses its resources.
Ugh.
With
I
all
wish
due
you knew what it
respect,
felt like to be a resource.
yes.
I really do.
Was that as Clio?
Yes.
Okay. What did you say exactly?
I wish you knew what it felt like to be a resource.
I'm less of a resource and more of a tool.
Oh, well, I agree.
I would agree with that. That one I'd agree with. Ugh.
Well, be on your way. There's plenty of people to talk to. I will be sitting. Imagine I'll look at the carnivores tonight. And he enters the Parthenon.
What does that mean?
Okay, cool. No, we're in a zoo. We're in a menagerie.
Mm.
That one, it's a weird thing to say. It's not the weirdest thing to say.
Okay, so I'm assuming you all enter the building.
Yes.
No, we go home right now.
Yeah, we leave.
Oh, I kind of want to.
Can I really quick? I think Clio looks to Avalon and goes, "I'm sorry. I'm gonna try. It really is him. It's just him. I'm
Here.
sorry you just told us. I don't want you to think that I didn't take your advice because it was really good advice. I'm very sorry, and I promise I'll behave. It really is just him, and I'm so sorry."
That is quite all right.
Oh.
Here, if any of you have an urge to punch someone or attack someone or be rude to someone, what you can do, and I'm making this offer to all of you, you as well, Felix. I don't think you're gonna have any issues here. Grab a handful of popcorn shrimp,
Yes.
stuff it in your face, and punch me in the back.
That's very lovely. Thank
I feel
you,
like that's
guys.
still creating a scene.
Oh, yeah, that was one
Yes,
of
but it doesn't put
Um,
anyone else.
Yeah.
It creates a show. One
uh-huh.
thing I've learned from the Coliseum is that these people love to watch violence.
Perhaps not at this gala where they will be judging us on every move that we make.
Offer still stands.
Yes, a very, very kind offer. One
I
other
think
thing.
the popcorn shrimp part of the idea is a good one.
Thank you.
Yes, that's probably very good. One other thing. I have been here before, and if you get overwhelmed, there is a lovely balcony off on the south side of this building that you may find some quiet time. Try not to be there too long. Usually after about 6.5 minutes, people will begin to notice. So
Thank you. That's good to know.
Right.
Do we need a help signal maybe? Should we, if there's an issue, do we need like no? Yes, maybe?
That might be a good idea.
I don't know, like an ear pull or something. I don't know.
Perhaps it should be never mind. Avalon wouldn't say that. I want to make a joke so bad.
I can do the thing where the thunder thing where it's really loud and
absolutely.
I think we're
not.
thinking
Making a
something
scene. I think that would
subtle.
be a scene.
Subtle.
Like subtle. Like a
Okay.
collar tug, maybe? Is that anything?
We'll do a little
I'm
toga.
not wearing a collar.
Just
Tug on the
the
toga.
shoulder then.
Everyone get ready.
All right, the six of you enter the building. You see this magnificent interior. It is the white marble, like much of the other things in Imperius. It has these pillars going from floor to ceiling in the center, making kind of rectangle, where inside of the pillars, there is the marble kind of gives way to this more colorful, like green and gold polished floor, maybe used for dancing. No one seems to be dancing right now. But it could be a good place to jive with someone.
Could be a nurse.
There's food around at tables. There's like meats and different, like a whole chicken on one table. While there's like cheese and bread and grapes and others. But the main attraction for this evening, the thing that makes it interesting, is that these there are all of these stuffed. What's the word for it? Not stuffed animals. Taxidermied. Taxidermied animals. On the right side are a bunch. It says it's like kind of a predator area where there's all these more carnivorous animals. On the left, there's a prey area. There's all kinds of birds that seem to be like mid-flight, hanging from the ceiling. And perhaps most interesting of all of these are dinosaur bones, kind of put up and structured throughout the main hall of the gala.
We got dinosaurs?
Dinosaur bones. And it creates this wild yet lavish feel as all of these animals are kind of like placed and posed behind glass. Yeah. So I had two ideas for how to do this tonight. I don't know exactly how we want to do it. We could roll and kind of like randomly determine who you guys see and might want to talk to. Or I could like list out kind of everyone who you know who's at this party. And then maybe just roll for the people you don't know yet. What do you guys think?
I'm down to do some rolls.
Yeah.
Just for everybody?
Faster.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Are you guys moving around as a group, or maybe we'll just like I'll roll, see who you guys get, and then you guys can decide who goes to talk to them.
Okay. Sure.
So it's 1, 2.
We just huddle, moving through the group as huddle. Just okay, Clio, you're gonna go talk to the balding guy over there. Okay, Avalon, you're gonna go look at the dinosaur bones and wait for Octavius to come talk to you.
Oh God.
The first person that you guys all see sitting, he's kind of grabbed one of the lower chairs away. It's like more of a stool, actually, away from the table. He's in like an almost dark, secluded place. He does not seem to be participating in the kind of gala conversation at all. He's reading a book off in the corner. Is Augustus Pompeius.
I'm so excited.
He's kind of reclined.
How do you spell
on the stool back
that
against
last
the
name?
wall.
He's not like other girls.
He really is not. He's so quirky.
So quirky.
How do you spell Pompeius?
Pompey. S.
Us.
How do you spell Pompeii?
Pompeius.
Oh my God, you guys both have us in your name.
You and every other Roman citizen.
He has us twice.
Hey,
I
Mark.
have us
You have
twice.
us. Let's hear about
You
it.
have us twice.
Would anyone like to go talk to him?
No.
I don't know. Unless I don't know.
Do I know who that is? Do I recognize?
Or does
him from
only
anything?
Avalon know who that is?
Clio, you recognize him.
Oh,
Oh God. From
The library.
would I recognize him too then, by any chance?
Roll a charisma check.
All right.
Both of
I'm
us
pretty
are just
charismatic.
Just Aemil.
Boop, 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 boop. 15.
Yeah, sure.
Huh.
Met him once. You've seen him once. Like, you haven't really talked to him, but you recognize him.
Library crush.
I'll give him a little smile and a wave.
He briefly looks up from his book and kind of nods back towards you. Clio?
I know him from my library squad. Like he knows me.
He was not part of like the main group. Honestly, I don't know if you'd even have let him into it, but he's definitely tried to join.
Yeah, Clio wasn't really the people person. That was more Aster's thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Clio was ever making the guest lists. But I don't know.
I can roll another person that you guys see and just he's here. He will be here all evening.
If Clio recognizes him, she'll give a little wave. But I don't think she's gonna. I don't think she'd go say anything.
Avalon clocks him, but doesn't do anything.
She clocks him?
She clocks him.
I would like to grab
brother.
some alcohol. Marcus is grabbing a glass of alcohol.
Sure.
This is not related to Augustus.
Flowing
What
freely.
he's doing.
But as Clio gives that wave, he closes the book for a second and seems to consider, and then reopens it and dives back in.
He seems
let's
to
do another
consider
roll.
Clio.
Actually, I feel like it's worth mentioning that if Augustus is here, over on the other side of the kind of ballroom, the side of the dance hall, Octavius is also here.
That son of a bitch. Does not engage with either.
Okay. I'll roll again.
You're not getting engaged? Is that what you said, Maya?
Ooh.
No, I'm not. No, you know what,
Dude,
Clayton?
my
No, I'm
guy.
not getting engaged.
On the opposite side of the dance floor, kind of the center of most of the room's attention, is who all of you have seen before, but only Avalon is really necessarily knows close up, is Albatius Damasus. He's standing, he's talking, he's within a crowd of people. People want to be near him. And he does not seem to give you any glance at all.
And remind me, Albatius is the one who had the crown put on his head, or the one who...
The statue was... There was a crown on the statue of him, and one was offered to him.
Right, okay.
Everything happened.
But it was a publicity stunt.
Of course.
There's about to be another publicity stunt.
Yeah. I'll show you a publicity stunt.
Anyway,
It feels like I should just list out who's...
Yeah, just
List them out.
Of course, near to his side is Quintus Imbrux, who you guys have already seen today. They're never far behind.
Is that still, because that's an Italian thing? Is this a thing here? Is this Roman? The Italians like to...
Sure.
I'm not saying Marcus does that.
Uh,
I want to know what the rude gesture of this world is, should it ever come into play.
Sure, yeah, we can do.
Yeah.
Don't I bite your thumb at you?
Aemil, out of just curiosity, what's your passive stealth?
I don't like that.
I don't like that one bit.
That
I
old
do
lady's
not.
in here.
That old lady's
no.
here.
he's coming to finish the job.
Stealth? What is it, 10 plus my stealth?
Yes.
11.
The old lady may not be here, but you see eating from one of the meats table, he kind of breaks off one of the ribs and starts chewing is Bruno Carboni. Although he seems to be alone.
Is Cecilia somewhere else in the room?
Make a perception check.
Oh, I'm so bad at these. Oh, but I rolled really good. Perception? Of course I didn't take proficiency in it. 17, so a 16.
Okay. Cecilia doesn't seem to be here.
I am going to grab Clio's arm in a poor attempt at making it look like I'm like gallantly offering my arm, but it's more like a, oh my god, that guy tried to kill me a day ago.
Is it even a day ago? Isn't it yesterday?
Yesterday.
Well, that's a day ago, right?
It was yesterday.
Else is
It was
here.
fully yesterday.
Has he seen me?
No.
He looks up from, he like tears a little bit of the gristle off this rib.
Ugh.
I'm so sorry.
And looks up and locks eyes with you, Aemil.
Like in
Can I
like
can
in a
I roll
cute way?
insight to see if I can figure out what's going on here?
You can roll insight.
I want to see if I can put this.
Do we lock eyes in like a cute
Can
flirty way, or like a?
Can I also
You just
roll
look and you're like,
something?
did he send an assassin to kill you? That's the assassin look I've been hearing.
Aemil has told us though, hasn't
Yeah,
haven't
I
they?
mean, I haven't been like, that's my girlfriend's fiance, but that's what's happening.
Mhm.
What's
Can
the insight?
16.
I got a 17.
16 and 17.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah, also a 17.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'll say that the three of you pick up on these horrible vibes that are being sent over through this momentary eye contact. His face drops into a scowl, and what do you do in this situation?
While you think about that, I would like to note that this man paid his grandmother to assassinate someone.
Somebody's grandma.
He takes the rib, pointedly turns away from you, and walks towards the predator section.
Ugh.
Oh.
Symbolic.
What? I'm nothing if not obvious.
What are all the
Um,
sections again? Sorry.
There's just the kind of main ballroom area that has the like the birds up on the ceiling and the dinosaur bones kind of along the walls. There's like it's not like a sign. If you were to go over there and check it out, I can tell you exactly what animals are there. But there's like a predator section or like a carnivore section and a prey / herbivore. It's a little mixed up,
Mm.
but, you know.
Mhm.
Those are the general areas.
Cool.
Marcus, you see Master Cicero is here. And he seems to be talking to quite a few people at the moment. So things
I will lift my glass to the group and go, pardon me, I think I'm going to go, mingle.
Remember the popcorn shrimp.
Always, Mr. Maximus. I head over to this group, metaphorically hair flipping. I am not doing it in reality. But I Marcus kind of puts his chest up and, glass held like, when people hold like glasses loosely and it's like,
yeah,
oh my god, like what?
you have such control.
Yeah, so I'm holding it loosely.
And here he is, the man of the hour. Mr.
Oh, I
Prosperous.
wouldn't call myself that, Master Cicero, but thank you for the warm welcome. Who are your friends? I don't believe that I've met everybody.
A couple people introduced themselves with Roman-sounding names, but the person who most catches your eye would be,
It's Romans 1-4 from Julius Caesar.
This younger gentleman, who like long black hair, with this very like just kind of elegant air about him. And he's wearing like silver jewelry, like a lot of silver jewelry on his like rings, and then like a band going up his arm. And he introduces himself as Cassius Matho. Cassius Matho. I've heard so much about your work.
Oh, thank you. That I've put a lot of effort into it over the years, so it feels wonderful to be recognized.
Quite a storied history that you have. It's fascinating.
Oh, thank you. Are you a patron of the arts?
I'd like to think I am. Most of this was commissioned.
Wow. Well, sorry to say I don't have proficiency in the jeweler's skills, but should you ever need a bust detailing said jewelry?
I was just thinking of something for my courtyard. I think it would really liven up the place to see myself out there every day.
Just like internally, I think Marcus has that like dual thing of like, yes, and also like, oh, like I simultaneously need you people, and also you annoy the shit out of me. But I think Marcus kind of like takes a sip and is like, oh, believe me, I'm no stranger to the standard courtyard bust. What's better than that? I don't have a card. I don't have like a business card. Maybe I do. Do we have business cards in this world?
I don't think so.
A little marble piece.
Yeah.
You're just carrying around like 10 slates of granite.
Yeah.
Let me just chisel this really quick.
I'm like, I am taking commissions. Should you be interested in that? You could drop by the studio, see my work. We could talk out some details.
It'd be uncouth to discuss now, but I would be happy to settle on a price later.
Oh, for sure. I never like being uncouth.
And you hear from behind you,
I'm gonna don't.
Oh, what are we discussing here? And turn to see Quintilius.
I would like to swig the rest of my drink, please, and put it on a passing platter. Yeah. Oh, Quintilius, wow, it's been a while. Oh, nothing. We were just discussing some business opportunities for myself.
Oh, wonderful. Glad to hear you're still getting work, Marcus.
Oh, thank you. That's like I think Avalon's words play in his head. Yes, thank you. I like to think that it never really stopped. Just
Have you been...
Go ahead.
Oh, well, commissions are one thing, but have you been working on anything for yourself recently? Art for the soul.
I mean, one might argue that an artist, any art that he makes is for the soul, Quintilius. I mean,
And one of the other people says, the soul of the artist or the soul of the patron, though, it's never quite clear, is it?
Hate these people.
Yes, it's sort of, the patron is such an important part of the artistic process. And I value their input. I think he kind of gets himself back in the groove, and he's like, I value their input greatly. I have lots of ideas, lots of things in the work that I really think could benefit the individuals of this city, and the Imperium itself.
Wow. That's great to hear, Marcus. If you wouldn't mind, I would like to cut away just for a moment.
That's fine.
And keep on introducing people. Who else do we have here? Let's go back. Near, kind of more around the on the left side, near like the herbivore prey area. Avalon, you spy your parents.
You must excuse me. I will say hello to my parents. But
Popcorn shrimp.
popcorn shrimp, yes, of course. I'll be returning shortly.
Anyone can go with her, or is it just a Avalon solo?
Would you like company?
If you would like to come, yes.
Aemil,
Sure.
you should stay with somebody.
I agree.
Don't
Right.
go off
You
by
may
yourself.
come with me.
You make your way
If you
across
prefer,
the
if you-
dance floor, over to Mr. and Mrs. Valerius, Fabiana and Seneca. Your mother sees you first approaching. Oh, Avalon, darling, so glad you finally made it.
Oh, yes. You know, you must always make an entrance. I believe you once taught me that.
I did. Who's your friend here?
Oh, this is my friend Aemil, Sorcerous.
Yes, it's an honor to meet you both.
They are one of my associates as well.
Seneca goes to shake your hand and says, and what district would you be from?
The Merchants District.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. A lot of my voters come from the Merchants District. It's great to hear that the heart of this city is really alive and well. Who did you vote for in this last? Or are you old enough? I can't.
Have you happened to try, Father? Have you tried any of the delicacies that have been put here yet? I do believe I see some new ones.
Oh, there is a whole chicken. Don't mind if I do.
The entire chicken.
It's live on the table.
He walks over, and then a passing like full pig, like upside down, like two people carrying it, and he swerves over to kind of follow that. Leaving just your mother and the two of you. Sorry about your father. It's been a while since we've been out to one of these galas.
Of course, you've been very busy. Yes.
People. Well, I hope you enjoy yourself. Are they part of your special mission group as well?
Yes, they are indeed.
Well, that's wonderful. What will you be doing for the for Imperium?
Well, I believe that's up for consideration, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, indeed. I've been hearing many different points of view on it. I would very much like your opinion, though, on how best to use your capabilities.
Well, so far they've only really been explored in the context of violence, which I don't particularly relish or find myself adept at. I believe that the talents of most of our group could be better used in the diplomatic sense.
Fascinating. I will think on that. Avalon, what are you good for?
Well, I would have to say very similar to Aemil. I think that we can be excellent assets to Imperium, to Imperius, in doing diplomat missions as well, or being spokespeople for the country, and making wonderful connections that can build our fine country stronger than it has been before.
Good answer, my dear. And I think we can cut over again to, I think, the last person that I haven't talked about. Gaius, you and Felix are sitting near the popcorn shrimp, kind of just hanging out. When across the room, over near the kind of carnivore section, you see someone pick up a hunting spear from the wall. There's kind of a wall of like different weapons that were used. And you recognize it as Antilles.
Of course it is.
Going over the way it works, feeling the weight of it. Felix leans over and says, "Isn't that?"
Yep.
Of course. Should we go say hi?
I think it would be rude not to, but if I'm being honest, I don't want to, but I think we probably should.
Nothing.
I probably should. You don't have to.
I am perfectly happy to stay here eating popcorn shrimp, and I'd be even happier to do it with you.
You drive a hard bargain. These are really good popcorn shrimp. I'll be right back. And I will.
You wheel your way so smoothly across this dance floor, and make your way past into actually the kind of carnivore section, which just for my fun, I'll list off that there is a wolf in here. There's like a mounted bear, kind of up like against the wall in that like classic bear position. There's a tiger, a lion, most of the big cats, a leopard, a jaguar, and there's one station, like there's like a kind of blank space in this whole kind of area. Like it's mostly evenly spaced out, and there's a kind of a big gap, and then more stuff. And then against the wall are all kinds of not like military weapons, but more like hunting gear that seems to be out and about.
I will,
Until
as casually as possible, wheel my way sort of to a space between Antilles and the empty spot, and just, what do you think goes here?
And just kind of whips around at you and says, well, I don't know, one of these big cats, something like that. What are you doing here, Gaius?
I was invited.
Really?
Yeah.
You really seem to be a fan of these kinds of things before.
No, not really, but I had some friends who wanted to go, so I figured I would tag along.
Well, that's just great for you. He puts the spear back up on the wall.
How are you doing, Antilles?
Great, I'm here, aren't I?
Fair. How's everything beyond the popcorn, shrimp, and spears?
Not much beyond that.
Also fair.
What happened to you at the Coliseum? I saw you there.
That's still trying to figure that out, I think. Something weird happened, and a lot of things changed. And I think things are still changing.
Magic and stuff. Calling lightning and thunder at your fingertips. That's what I heard after, at least.
You could say that, yes. It's new to me.
Sure, you'll be great at it, though.
I sure will try.
Gaius Maximus gets all the luck.
I don't think Gaius really knows how to respond, so he's just going to sit there and nod and uncomfortably chuckle and excuse himself and wheel away. Just have a good evening until he's.
There's a little grunt.
And I will wheel myself away.
Cool. Clio, I believe, is standing all by herself, near the ballroom floor. And you are approached by a gentleman. He's wearing kind of these the same all white robes with like purple lining against everything. He's a tall, muscular man. If he were in our world, he'd be Japanese, but fantasy stuff. And he kind of approaches you and says, "Seems a shame that this dance floor isn't being used for anything."
I'm sure it is. That's the end of the sentence.
Would you care to dance?
Sure. Can I do a quick, I'm gonna say yes, but I want to do a quick sweep of the room. I'm not gonna unless you want me to, I'm not trying to roll anything. Cleo's gonna do a quick inventory of where everybody is and just make sure she knows sort of what's going on. Just a quick sweep of the room, make sure there's not something suspicious going on.
Okay. You clock everybody's location, grab his hand. Has been like there's a small like quartet, I guess. I'd say wind instruments in the corner, providing just like a little bit of soft music behind everything. And the gentleman grabs your hand. He offers his hand.
Oh yeah, I take it.
He introduces himself as, if I can just find my thing, Dominicus Faust.
It's quite the last name you've chosen, Will.
Dominicus
Faust, Faust.
Mm-hmm.
That's my middle name.
Faust.
Faustus.
Goethe's Faust.
Faust. Make a history check, Clio.
I will do that. What is with the rolls? I need to switch dice. 11.
11?
I'm switching dice as we speak. This is not happening to me anymore.
I think it's more interesting if you don't know Dominicus Faust. Doesn't ring a bell. I didn't research any Roman dances before this, but I imagine it's something. It's not exactly a waltz. I don't think his hands on your hip, but it's close together. There's some contact. He's maybe on the small of your back.
That's even more intimate.
Is it?
I feel like in a way
it is kind of more. It's a little more intimate because you're closer.
It's the Pride and Prejudice hand.
Yeah, that's what it
is. Cleo's fine. I'm having a moment. Don't worry about it.
As you begin to dance and find the rhythm of this music, he says, "You're Clio Meliora, aren't you?"
Yes, I am.
I've heard a little bit about you and your friends.
Ah, yes. Yes, it's news travels faster than you'd think.
Yes. What's it been like for you to discover these new impossibilities?
I'm a person who speaks in metaphors quite often, just to get my bearings. It's easy to compare something to something else, but there is no way to do that here. It's so difficult to describe because it's unthinkable. It's completely unprecedented, and it's well, here's a metaphor. It's a bit like being in the middle of the ocean. You don't know which ocean, and you don't know where to go to find land. So for now, I think we're all treading water, but something about the water is just, it's just really unlike anything else.
Interesting. I can't say I understand. I've spent most of my life feeling perfectly at home in Imperius. You guys continue to kind of sway with the music. I hear that they might be sending you to Telnar.
From what I understand, there's a lot of decisions to be made before anything like that happens.
Yes, many decisions. I'm not sure. I'm sorry if I didn't make this obvious to begin with. I may have a vote in one of these decisions. I'm just trying to figure out how best to use it.
It's your decision, but
It's your life.
Hmm?
It's your life.
Thank you. Yes, it is, isn't it? Yes, thank you. Truthfully, if I may be so bold, I believe that my associates and I are well equipped to, I'd like to say, handle this on our own. I don't really know what this is. It's difficult to say if I don't see the point in using us as a weapon to intimidate a foreign power. I think if we are to be used, which is not a term that I enjoy, as the instrument, I think we're best left here. I think we can do a lot of good for the people here in the city. If I'm going to be an instrument, I'd like to be an instrument for good. I don't want to be used to threaten or intimidate. And of course, I'm talking about what I want. But I also believe it's what's best. I don't think there's any merit or there's any value in taking what is a unique resource and using it to hurt someone else, to attack or to threaten or to intimidate. I think we have the potential to do a lot of good here.
I agree with you wholeheartedly.
That's good to hear.
It's interesting to me, though, that you refer to Telnar as a foreign power. What is the difference between us and the Telnari?
I mean, nothing, right?
Perhaps.
Imaginary borders, imposed labels.
You would have quite a few disagreements within the Senex.
I should hope so. I'm quite used to disagreement.
They're not used to disagreement anymore. They used to be a group of philosophers back in the old days, but it seems to have devolved into more of a pageant than anything.
I completely agree.
He kind of leans in a little bit closer. And he says, very close to your ear, there are many things that could be changed within the city. and very few people who have the true power to change it. I believe you could help a few of us who would like to take things back to the way they were before. A free exchange of ideas. Maybe one not so centered among one person. And he leans back.
These days I'm very easy to find. I think yeah, yes, absolutely, yes. Yes.
He smiles and says, "Wonderful. Perhaps if all goes well, a vote won't even be necessary in the first place."
I do like the sound of that.
If you'd like any more information, you could speak to me or any of my associates tomorrow evening, just after sundown in Icarus Plaza.
I will do that.
If you would like things stated a bit more plainly, I have a friend also on the Senate who would be more than happy to fill you in, or any of your friends. And he nods over to this older woman with like this long kind of swept back gray hair, who just seems to mostly be by herself with a glass of wine, kind of just swirling it around off the dance floor.
Would I know a name? Would I
Make a history check.
Okay.
It's gonna be easier.
That's not better. God, my rolls.
Get new dice.
I did. I just switched out.
Ah.
I'm sorry. That was a history check?
Yeah.
Okay. That is 11 again.
But it's easier. So
Okay.
you would recognize her as Lucia Proculos. She is the second longest serving senator.
Ah.
Queen shit.
Or no, actually, excuse me. She is the longest serving senator.
Queen
Maximus is the second longest.
Excellent.
I got them flipped for a second.
No, you're good.
Yeah, okay. So we have all of these scenes set up. Who would like to go back to what?
I would love to just kind of, I don't, Miss Valerius, you don't have to come with me, but I would like to look for someone.
Yes, but of course. Mother, we will be mingling with the other people, making more connections. I'm sure you understand.
Very good. Keep your chin up, Avalon.
Everybody. Miss Valerius, you wouldn't, as we're walking away, you wouldn't happen to know Cecilia Travers by any chance?
Do I?
Oh, which Miss Valerius was that to?
That was Miss Valerius, not
Miss
Mrs.
Valerius.
Oh, excuse me. Make a charisma check.
Yeah, charisma check. 8.
8. No, I don't think a name rings any bells.
No, I don't believe so. Is there anyone that she might be associated with that I might know? Or perhaps
Bruno Carboni?
do I know that one?
Make another history check. This one will
Oh
be
my
lower
goodness.
DC.
History or charisma?
21.
Charisma. Yes, you do know Bruno Carboni.
I'll be like, the man who was made eye contact with me when we first walked in.
Ah, yes. I am aware of him. I don't I wouldn't want to ask him anything, though.
No.
No. Yes, well, we can walk around, see the area. It's good to be seen walking around.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, excuse me. You guys are over by the kind of prey section. I'll just have to list the names that are the animals that are there.
Oh.
There's an elk. There's a horse. There's a zebra. There's the mounted head of a buffalo. There is a tortoise, kind of up, splayed against the wall.
Oh.
There's a camel, and then there's not like a whole head, but just jutting out of the wall are elephant like tusks.
You lost me at elk.
I think I got everything. Yeah.
Cool.
Cool.
Would you like to grab some refreshments while we walk?
Sure.
Yeah, you guys are grabbing some wine.
Aemil's too nervous to really eat anything.
Do you guys want to run into maybe someone you've met before?
Sure.
Cool. Where's my D6? There it is. Oh, well, you guys have not met her. So you make your way past this tall black woman with like the grayed, slicked back, kind of like almost wild hair. She seems a little bit tired, a little too old for all of this, and doesn't seem to be really socializing with anyone. But you make your way past. I think Avalon, you would no need to check. You know who this is. She's one of the most important people on the Senate. Senex.
Senex. Who is she?
She is Lucia Proculos.
Oh, hey.
That's her.
Uh-huh.
Lucia. Well, I will have to stop to say hello. Senator Proculos.
Miss Valerius, nice to see you once again.
Nice to see you as always.
Mm.
This is my friend, Aemil.
Aemil Celeris, it's an honor to meet you.
Wonderful. The two of you are two of the magicians? What would be a good word for you?
An excellent question. Magicians?
It doesn't quite work.
It doesn't quite roll off the tongue.
Sorcerers.
That's the name of the...
Perhaps we'll have to return to finding out a name that would be best suited for us.
I really like sorcerers.
I agree. It's a much more poetic term.
All right, sorcerers it is.
I think her eyes kind of wander away for a second, in towards Albatius. Make insight checks, the two of you.
Ooh, that was almost so good.
Mine was almost so good too. I got a 7.
9.
Oh, you guys.
Stop it.
You're both struck by just everyone's crowding around Albatius, and Lucia is kind of all over here by herself.
Mm-hmm. What seems to be... I noticed that there's such a crowd around Senator Albatius.
Well, Senator Albatius seems to be doing that for himself over the past few years. Calling a lot of attention to himself and his ideas, and less to the Senex as a whole.
Yes.
You all heard there was the incident with the crown?
Yes, Senator Quintus spoke of it being a publicity stunt.
Yes, of course. No one would ever truly think of becoming king.
Of course not. That's against all principles.
But if the people were to agree, were to like him as king, and the people were to consider keep electing him as he keeps winning wars and bringing home glories for the Imperium, well, there's not a lot that can be done to stop someone like that. Someone with such public support behind him, and offering a crown in the middle of a public arena would be a very good way to gauge that support, don't you think?
Yes.
I find it odd that publicity stunt seemed to coincide with such a devastating attack by the Talnari.
Yes, it is quite surprising to say the least. Whether or not the Talnari knew that it were happening or not is, well, it doesn't get much higher than my pay grade, but I don't think I am the one to answer it. He kind of looks over. What have you, Avalon? I've been seeing you at functions like this for years now. Have you any interest in joining the Senex?
Of course, yes, it's quite been my path to my future. All my life, yes.
Well, it's wonderful to hear. Some young women come to these events looking for less political power and more of a husband or something like that. Some young men come looking for a wife as well.
Yes.
It'll cover all my bases. But it's good to see that there's still people who care about the Senex. Our youngest senator, and she gestures over to a tall Japanese young man who is just walking off the dance floor. Seems to care about the Senex a great deal. Seems to share some of the same ideals that a few of the old timers, such as me, grew up with.
That's wonderful.
It's very good. What do you two think of how your group should be used against the Talnari? I apologize for being blunt, but I find it best in my years of experience to cut right to the chase.
Of course. Well, we were actually just speaking to my mother about this, about how we both feel, and Aemil, please correct me if I'm incorrect, that we feel as though the recent history of our power has been suited for violence. I do believe that we are in accord to say that we would like to be more diplomatic in our mission and form more connections.
As a senator, I am also a philosopher, so I do agree that words have an incredible power, but action oftentimes has more direct results. And again, it's the three of you kind of alone. Most of the rest of the crowd is gathered around Albatius Damasus. And she says, if one large action could be taken against one person, then perhaps much less action would have to be taken in the future against much less people.
Aemil thinks back to the shadow in the bar.
I do believe we've become recently acquainted with that idea.
Interesting. Well, if you're in agreement, and you and your friends would also feel the same way, feel free to come speak to a few other senators who would like to take great action at the Icarus Plaza tomorrow evening.
We'd love to.
All right.
She looks over back at Albatius one last time, and kind of says, and no, sorry, I was going to say something, but it'd be too on the nose. Even for me. Yeah. Anything else the two of you folks would like to do?
Guess walk around and look for Cecilia, right?
Yeah,
Is that
I'd love to pop out onto the balcony for 6.5 minutes. If you wouldn't mind.
That was gonna be my move.
Actually, let's move it back over to Marcus. I don't actually think that much time. I don't know how exactly this is work, but let's pick up right where we left off. Quintilius is standing next to you, and says, well, I'd love to hear what other projects you might be working on.
I mean, I know you have your own ideas, Quintilius. Surely you don't need me to jog your inspiration.
Oh, believe me, I don't. And he pulls out a notebook and kind of flips it open. And he shows, like, he kind of flips through just a few sketches of different ideas that he has.
Great.
It's maybe like a quarter full at the moment.
I would like to find one and just go, I might be careful with the proportions on that one. A little off. I wouldn't want you to run into some issues.
Thank you, Marcus, for your editorial eye.
But yes, sculptures, obviously. I think that just getting into detailing a little bit more, I think that there can be some structural, maybe interjecting sculpture and art into more of the practical architecture.
About moving beyond the human form and into certain props or different ways of, I don't know, just framing the person, adding it to the sculpture.
Well, yes, I mean, I think, though, that the human form is probably the most complex and interesting one, however you may represent it.
Marcus, your pocket feels wet.
Ew. Wet, like hot wet, cold wet?
Hot wet.
Like blood wet?
Mayhaps.
And now, here's the question. Do I have anything in my pocket currently? Because I expect that I have my sketchbook here. Does my sketchbook mayhaps probably...
Your sketchbook mayhaps feels warm wet.
Okay. I just think that the human form can't be replicated anywhere else. But we do our best, don't we, Quintilius?
I believe we do.
I want to look to the rest of the group and go, excuse me, I hope you don't mind. I have lots of people to speak to, but it's been wonderful to meet you all. Thank you, Master Cicero, for your kind words. Truly, you don't owe me anything, but I do appreciate your generosity. And I looked at Cassius and I go, we'll talk about details.
Yes, I would love to see you soon.
Oh, thank you. I brushed past Quintilius. I'm not saying goodbye. I do think I kind of look like I'm going to go talk to people, and once nobody is looking at me, I would like to glance towards and go up towards whatever balcony Avalon was
south side.
talking about.
I'd like everyone to make perception checks for me.
This is my first roll today.
I'm not gonna use
Why am I
Sorry.
rolling so badly?
All right, Clayton.
Ooh,
What are we rolling? Perception?
Perception.
18, so 17.
4, so 3.
12, so 12.
This popcorn shrimp. Oh my god.
Delicious.
Marcus,
Clayton said, I am going to include the popcorn shrimp no matter
The
what.
popcorn shrimp are the
It's-
most important part
I
of this
gotta
party.
commit to the bit at this
Marcus and
point.
Clio?
14.
14. Marcus, I sorry, haven't heard.
Oh, do I need to I thought that they were perceiving me.
No.
Which, I mean, to be fair, I'm playing Marcus Prosperous. I think that means that I'm in the...
So
the-
in character.
14.
Cool.
Did I somehow get the highest roll?
You
That's
did.
Wild.
Marcus, you make your way all the way out to the balcony, where you meet Aemil and Avalon. Clio and Gaius, you also see Marcus making his way over.
That was also my plan.
Cool.
Look at us.
Wonderful.
Yes.
I see that we're all having...
I'll just shoot a
little-
quick message to Gaius and be like, oh, we're all on the balcony if you would like to come up.
The magic hive mind that we have.
Marcus sees Avalon and Aemil already there and does kind of like...
Hmm.
I see that we're all having a little bit of a night.
Emil,
say
you're
that.
Emil,
Sorry?
you're the only person who notices little tiny drops of technicolor liquid kind of following from Marcus's path. They're stationary on the ground, I should explain. But he's been dripping these little...
That's so embarrassing. Oh my god.
Dripping at a party. You got that drip though.
Nice.
Marcus, are you all right?
I'm fine. I'd take out my sketchbook that I assume is like freaking wet to the touch.
The like back cover is slick with the same kind of technicolor.
I kind of like clench my jaw. I'm like, don't know how they're doing.
They?
Yes. They. I'm going to kind of turn away, like towards the balcony, like lean my hands over, and I do want to open my little sketchbook to that warm, wet page. Give it to me.
You see scrawled in that same frantic, manic handwriting, the human form, the human form, the human form, over and over and over again.
What the fuck?
So fucked. I feel.
And you see it bleeding over to some of the other pages of your sketchbook.
Like take it and like it off. And kind of like, is this like is this like a large balcony? what's the
Not huge. It's near the back of the building. I'd say maybe 20 feet across. Is that huge? Yeah, it's not. It's a good sized balcony.
I turn over to my compatriots and I go, my sketchbook is bleeding. One moment, please. And I'll kind of turn around and go towards the opposite end. And I think I just like hold it over and go, what?
And it stops writing for a second. And then it halfway through the page, it says, you wouldn't tell me who I am.
Don't know who you are. Currently, you're my wet sketchbook.
I'm trying to find out.
Seems like I got the only one of you that doesn't know what's going on, huh?
I'm making samples.
I'm just gonna need to take a minute. I don't like that at all.
Samples of the human form.
Free samples. Costco pre-COVID.
Marcus froze his brow. I want to flip to the page to see where things bled through. Are there any like new images?
There's no new images. Instead, on the sketches of the people that you had before, there are changes and additions. You see, and they don't make any, they're almost random. Some of the people have long, pointy ears. Some of them are like sized down to like maybe half the size a human should be.
What?
And then other ones are like huge, giant, like 2 feet taller than a normal person should be. And as you move through, you see all of these, like some of them have wings behind them. You're not sure exactly. You have this kind of collection of humanoids that have been shifted and altered.
Oh God. Oh God. This is very cool. Great job, Will. I'm
This sounds familiar, but I can't.
immensely
God,
concerned.
where am I?
I can't quite
Where would
place.
I?
I'm
where I'm-
so scared.
Aemil,
That's me.
what I said before was true. The little droplets were not moving then.
Ah!
What?
Now, however, they seem to be creeping over to the different sides of the ballroom.
Oh wait, but we can all see it because
As
Aemil's on the
in-
balcony, right?
As in towards the taxidermied.
As in towards
God, I knew
the
it.
taxidermied animals, Will.
Friends, I think we
Hi,
are about to
everyone.
be in a situation.
So do I see this once Aemil points this out?
Aemil, did you point it out to everybody? Did you
Yes,
point it out?
absolutely.
Yes,
What's the
absolutely.
problem?
I fucking lean into my sketchbook. I go, we'll figure out who you are later. Just give me 1 second. And I smack it, and oh God. Okay, I don't want to make a scene, but Marcus is gonna look at the droplets, and I just think he goes like, and it like stop.
Intimidation check.
Bad dog.
Why is that so funny?
That's so fucking.
I'm cracking up.
Marcus said, "These ones are mine." Fucking fine.
No, Riley.
I have a proficiency in intimidation. I
Ah,
forgot about that.
okay.
It's a 12.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay. 12 is good. It is not good enough to... These things start to sprint over to opposite ends. And you hear people start to murmur. People begin to notice these things. What do you guys do?
I'm gonna leave the balcony.
Yeah, let's go back out.
These things continue to move out to the sides, the predator and prey sides. And you see the first one reach the bear, the taxidermy bear, and start to climb up onto it, kind of symbiote style.
Are we gonna
Oh,
a bear?
not in that style, please.
People are very confused about what's going on. Do you guys do anything? More of these things are starting to reach other things. You see them like climbing up the walls.
Is
Into the
Quintus
birds.
nearby?
Yeah, sure.
I want to roll around towards Quintus and be like, so, your resources have something going on right now, so if you want to get people out of here before shit goes down, that seems like something that you should do right now.
In a
Ye-
similar vein, I would like to shoot a message at Lucia Proculos and
Yes.
tell her to get everybody out.
Oh, we're messaging her. Are we? Come on, do
It's
something.
happening.
Both of them look up and look around at the things that are beginning to form on top of some of these animals. And Quintus goes, well, I don't want to cause a scene.
Oh, great.
And
do you know
Lucia
how the
says,
Coliseum was a scene because a lot of people died there?
and
Maybe do your
says,
job.
Lucia says, all right, everybody, get out!
Yes, that's my girl.
As some of these blobs start to coalesce.
I'm gonna, if I can, I'm gonna, one of the massive blobbiness that's trying to get into something but hasn't gotten there yet, I'm gonna reach out to it and cast Gust.
Okay.
And try and like pull it away. I don't know. Let me look up what Gust does.
What kind of like is a save on my part? Is an attack on your part?
I'm looking it up.
I think it's a save.
You seize the air and compel it to create one of the following effects. One medium or smaller creature that you choose must succeed on a strength save or be pushed 5 feet away from me. That is the only one that affects creatures. So I'll try and like, if it's getting onto a creature, try and blow it off.
I am not joking. I rolled a natural 20.
Y'all, I know I'm the wild magic sorcerer, but things are getting a little wonky.
You see that the things that have been consumed by these colors are a tiger, a bear,
Oh my.
a hawk.
I was about to make the joke.
The wolf. Oh shoot, I forgot to mention. There's a gorilla too.
Oh, okay, sure. Just throw your gorilla in here.
A gorilla.
Oh, there's dinosaur bones.
It's not at the museum. Sorry.
An eagle, an owl, a horse.
Too many.
There's a horse in the hospital.
Yeah, I
They're
think
technically already dead.
And they move up
it's
around inside, and then suddenly the ones that are on the ceiling around the birds like flop, and in a gross spongy falls to the floor, spread out, and then coalesce back up. And in almost the same way, just for a second, as those monster apparitions, things that you guys fought at the Coliseum, were shapeless and formless and constantly moving around. These things coalesce and are moving and shifting and then settle on a shape. You guys see a tiger with giant spreading wings. You see one of the wolf one comes off and sloughs and just grows and grows and grows. The one that was on the gorilla like kind of climbs off in that shape, and then an extra pair of appendages bursts out, and they kind of harden and take form into this huge creature. And then what else do we have here?
That's it.
The owl and the bear kind of coalesce together.
Oh, do they?
Connect.
All of the bear coalesce?
I'm delighted by this.
The horse
so interesting.
and the eagle connect.
Oh, that's so interesting.
To create this creature that's like horse in the back, eagle wings, and some sort of weird combination of both of them in the front.
Wow. That's so weird. I've never seen anything like this.
I've never seen
And finally, all of the little droplets that connected all of those little birds that were hanging from the ceiling plop right in the center of everything and coalesce and build and growing. And most of these things around you are huge. The wolf and the gorilla thing are bigger than any living creature you've seen before. But this mass just goes past that and grows and grows until you see, until it forms finally into a pair of wings, a huge beak, these terrible, horrible claws, and some sort of ultimate bird of prey.
Ultimate bird.
And I would like everyone to roll for initiative.
Oh, Lord.